What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to the HBS podcast. I do hope that you're doing wonderful. And a particular episode where we get to talk about different things happening in the world and how they get to affect you personally or how they get to affect you as Black people right there, wherever you might be at. Thank you for tuning in. And also, big thanks to everyone that is showing us love and support on our different platforms. Remember, we are on X. You can also find us on YouTube. You can also find us on Facebook as well. And then all these other different platforms. Remember, write to myself, just write to African Way Network at gmail.com. And I would be more than delighted to hear from you and know how you are doing as we get closer to ending this particular month of May and jumping into this other new month of June with a whole lot of optimism and positivity. And on this particular stream, we get to delve into different issues, be it politics, be it economic issues, as well as other matters and how they get to affect you. So, for today, we shall be talking about a particular ambush that did get to happen right in front of our eyes. And there is a question as to how this particular one was organized and whether this is a style of diplomacy. I am talking about the engagement between Donald Trump, the Porters, and also the South African president, Cyril Ramaphosa. We all did see what did happen with that particular one. And I'm wondering if this will be the new mode of operation by Trump. Bowling, but I think he has last time that we are seeing Trump going and bullying other leaders, especially African leaders. And even before this particular meeting, we did hear about countries where people were supposed to be, getting deported back to. Most of these particular countries on that particular list of African countries. And now we also did hear about the situation with Trump giving white South Africans, the Africans, white South Africans refugee status in the USA. But let me share with us this particular video. I believe maybe you might have seen it or you might not have seen it. But nonetheless, let me share with us this real quick, and then you can let me know what you feel about this particular incident and how it happened and what you make of it. First and foremost, when Trump was claiming that there are over 1,000 burial sites in South Africa, this is not verifiable. The president, Cyril Ramaphosa himself, does not have information about this. And of course, even when you talk about these burial sites being about white people, white farmers being buried in South Africa, we have more black people that have been killed in South Africa, but these white farmers than the all white farmers being killed. So this whole narrative of the white genocide in South Africa, this is absolutely trash. Also, on the issue that Trump is talking about the land being taken by the black South Africans who are the that was stolen from their ancestors. This is land where many people lost their lives because of the fight that was put up. and many people lost their lives fighting for these particular lands that were then taken over by these white farmers. When it comes to inequality, South Africa has some of the biggest, highest inequality rates in the world. You do find that the white minority, having control over the resources, a whole lot of a chunk of the resources in South Africa, while the black majority do not have the control over these resources. And I'm talking about resources such as land, which is a factor of a production. So if you do not have land, that means that you are actually going to be the playing field is not level. This is actually playing is that it is actually the other way around. It is not where that you find that these white farmers are actually being persecuted and killed, and there is this white genocide, quote unquote white genocide. It's just a narrative that is actually being used to justify these are bringing in of the Afrikaners from South Africa to the US and giving them a refugee status. That is exactly what is happening with this particular one. But nonetheless, let me share a little bit more of it, and then we shall see what's going on with that and why this narrative is actually being pushed on the people, to the people. So that is exactly as things panned out with that particular situation, and you can see and are pretty much happy to see the dress down of the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa. And there is one particular gentleman who was also not very much amused, and the leader of the EFF, the Economic Freedom Fighters. He goes by the name Julius Malema, and Julius Malema has been very, very much vocal in terms of advocating for the return of these stolen lands back to the black South Africans, because this is land that belongs to them and therefore it should be given back to them. And they have been actually agitating that this land be returned. The government takes back this particular land from these white Africans, and gives it back. The redistribution of this particular land, because land has been a very, very, very thorny issue in South Africa. And for some reason, the previous governments, they have always come up and sort of buried their head in the sand, and done really not done much in regards to inequality in South Africa. But let me know what your thoughts are. This is a HBS podcast. Let me know what your thoughts are regarding this whole issue and the claiming of a white genocide in South Africa, which is just a narrative actually being used to sort of just have control and also ambush this particular South African president the way he was, and you can see Elon Musk right there, very much amused. Nonetheless, we shall just leave it there. We shall be back on another different mini episode, talking about what is happening with the world. But remember, on this particular HBS video, say that Africa is on the verge of something great. Another different narrative is going on in West Africa, Burkina Faso. We shall be letting you know what is going on with that, even as we do have another different segment right here on the HBS podcast. Much peace and love. Cheers.